Doesn't mean they're all the same. Anyone can make promises, but I want a sure thing. I want Ideal Home Loans for my next Ideal Home Loan. I've represented Ideal for years for a reason. They do what they say. Their 3-week closing, guaranteed in writing. Their rates, guaranteed in writing. Their terms, guaranteed in writing. And that's up front before you even do business with them. They individualize each loan and make sure you get what you need, and you're better off than you were before. That's not just a lender, that's a consumer advocate like me. And isn't that why you listen to this show? Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Also on my referral list at referralist.com. 303-867-7000.
Ideal Home Loans is regulated by the Division of Real Estate. NMLS number 136756. Call 303-867-7000. Example based on $250,000 loan amount, 32% DTI, 740 credit score, owner-occupied financing, 80% loan to value.
This is Denver's Talk Station. More with Martino after the news on 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station. KHOW, Denver.
NBC News Radio.
I'm Lisa Carter. President Trump says the man who opened fire on GOP lawmakers in Alexandria, Virginia this morning is dead. And he's praising Capitol Police officers who were shot but took down the gunman. Speaking to the nation from the White House this morning, the president saying,
many lives would have been lost if not for the heroic actions of the 2 Capitol Police officers who took down the gunman despite sustaining gunshot wounds during a very, very brutal assault.
Police say 5 people were taken to hospitals, including House Majority Whip Steve Scalise, who was shot in the hip. He is expected to recover. The gunman is now being identified. NBC reports he's 66-year-old James Hodgkinson, a home inspector from Belleville, Illinois. The reason for the shooting still unclear. The FBI now taking over the investigation. Meanwhile, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders says the suspect was one of his presidential campaign volunteers. In a statement, Sanders condemned the shooting, called it a despicable act. In convening the House, Speaker Paul Ryan saying, we are all united.
We are united in our shock. We are united in our anguish. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us.
That prompted a standing ovation from legislators. Alexandria, Virginia police trying to reassure the public following the shooting. The police chief says there is no longer an active incident and that the city is safe. Democratic lawmakers who were practicing at another location were seen huddling in prayer after reports of the shooting reached them. And we have more breaking news. San Francisco police on the scene of a shooting at the UPS building in the city's Mission District. There are reports that a UPS driver opened fire around 9 a.m. in the 3rd floor of the building at 17th and Vermont Street, wounding as many as 7. The gunman also reportedly shot. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
This report is brought to you by American Financing.
Sunny today with a high of 87. Mostly clear and a low of 54. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 90. Friday, sunny and even warmer with a high of 93.
Refinance and use your equity to consolidate your high-interest debt into one low payment. You could be saving $500 to $1,000. American Financing. 303-695-7000 or AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Hey guys, it's Jay Bretz, the owner of Excel Roofing. If you have a question about the condition of your roof, you should call us for a roof inspection at 303-761-6400. Remember, roof inspections are always free. 303-761-6400. If you do need a new roof, I recommend Owens Corning Duration Storm Shingles. These are the most wind-resistant shingles I've ever worked with. These things just don't blow off. The storm shingles are also hail-resistant. Some insurance companies will give you up to a 25% discount on your homeowner's insurance if you have this roof. Because Excel Roofing is an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we can also offer you a lifetime leak guarantee. Give us a call today, 303-761-6400. That's 761-6400 or go to ExcelRoofing.com.
We have so many 25 and 30-year-old mindless hipster baristas with their handlebar mustaches and their black-rimmed glasses, acting like they're gay when they're not, just because that's cool, I guess.
I never understood that.
Go learn something, and then you can talk.
Mornings at 5 on 630 KHOW, Denver's Talk Station.
How do you make sure you get the lowest rates for either a refinance or purchase, or getting the right loan for you and not the one they want to sell you? Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. We have been offering our low rates since 2001. Loan programs to eliminate mortgage insurance and save you hundreds of thousands. Paperless loan application, perform pre-clearance so your offer is accepted on your dream home.
So on that AppCom, will it automatically go to your doctor and check with them then?
No,
it just tells you where to go.
You can't order.
So then you're going to have all these different pharmacists and stuff, huh?
Home in half the time without changing
If you want to,
your spending
you
habits.
go and
Call 720-895-0500 to find out how. Take AIM. CFPB stated that the consumer has spent over $13 billion in fees on their mortgage that they may have saved had they shopped. Call us now and start saving. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. NMLS 298191, regulated by DORA, equal credit lender. Take AIM.
Experian gives you the tools you need to protect yourself from identity theft, the fastest growing crime in America. Experian monitors the dark web, including more than 600,000 illegal sites where your information might be traded by thieves right now. Get dedicated U.S.-based agents to help you fight ID theft. You're always going to talk to the same agent, too. All of those tools at your disposal, plus up to $1 million in ID theft insurance, are yours for free for 30 days by simply going to Experian.com/protect.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Oh, I'd be a nervous wreck if my daughter just got her license.
You know, Liberty Mutual actually helped me relax a little bit.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, with roadside assistance, Liberty Mutual is there to make sure she won't get stranded. Don't know what I'd do without it.
Sounds better than the alternative.
Which is?
Keeping her home until she's 30.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional 24-hour roadside assistance coverage. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com. This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier. All you have to do is give us a call, and we go to work. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I can say that I have recovered millions of dollars over the years, millions, hundreds of millions, in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Okay, we've been talking about a lot of things today, but one thing, we have family law expert, and we haven't had many questions, but we do have with us Bonnie Shields, attorney at law, and we do have a few email questions we'll get to on that, but you can feel free to call us. And if you can't get through on the regular line, 303-713-TALK, you can always call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. All right, and I also have been talking prescriptions and pharmacies, and I just had enough of Walgreens. I will never, ever set foot into another Walgreens again. They have taken control of healthcare. They decide when you can renew your prescriptions, and even if you get a fresh new prescription from your doctor, they won't fill it unless you run out. Now, I think that's foolhardy, especially in Colorado. What would happen if you ever had a blizzard or something and you couldn't get your blood pressure, or you couldn't get something? And I said, what if you pay for it by yourself? What do you care? Insurance. What if you put a credit card on file with you, what they call rapid pay? Nope, sorry. Nope, sorry, won't do it. We're deciding what's best for you. We will no longer listen to your doctor, nor do we let you make the decision, or your insurance company. We will decide for you. Not only that, sir, but we also have the highest prices, and we're proud of it. By the way, they do have the highest prices of all prescription drugs. I have checked on GoodRx, that app that woman called in about. Great. Put in a drug, you will find Walgreens is the highest. And some people think, well, it's no big deal. My health insurance pays for that. Well, it is a big deal. First of all, you have co-pays in some cases. In other cases, some people have to meet deductibles, and elderlies and senior citizen people sometimes have to pay for their prescriptions. Not only that, but we've gotten a lot of talk about rudeness and just the whole atmosphere. But I warn you, if you want to go to that other place, Rite Aid, they're being purchased by Walgreens, right?
Right. That's
so
right.
can't go there. Then we heard King Soopers does the same thing with control. But let's talk about just all I want. Here's what I want. I want people to just play their role in my life that they're meant to play. When I go to the supermarket, don't give me nutritional advice. Just sell me stuff. I don't want. If I wanted nutritional advice, I'll ask you. Okay? If I go to a store and I want something, you don't have it, I go somewhere else. If I go to Walgreens, I don't want your advice. If I go somewhere, what I want is what I want. That's why retailers are dying all over the place. Because people are going to the internet. They don't have to talk to ridiculous salespeople who know nothing about what they're selling, and they can have it overnighted to them. Now, there are a few exceptions. I got to tell you, the good old guys at Home Depot, they try to help you with projects at home and stuff. You know, there are some exceptions. But in general, retail is just going away. It really is. And as far as pharmacists, you know, let's just not exaggerate. I know that they think that they're healthcare providers, and I know they think they're some kind of professional. They're making minimum wage, a little more than minimum wage at Walgreens, and they're sitting behind that counter, and all they're doing is counting. I don't care what you say. They're not treating anything. They're not diagnosing anything. And there are so many mistakes in the pharmaceutical industry that, trust me, when it comes to pharmacies, that they all they have to do is count and fill, and they get that wrong. And then they're supposed to be able to tell you about interactions. Have you ever once in your life ever been told by a pharmacist something that was beneficial to your health? Ever? That this drug is not good with this drug, make sure you don't do it. Maybe you have, but that would be few and far between. Mostly, this is what pharmacists do. 1 pill, 2 pill, 3 pill, 4, 5 pills, 6 pills, 7 pills, more, 8 pills, 9 pills, 10 pills, 11. I can't rhyme with 11, so it's done. And they just then they have that little, what is that little thing that helps them count? That little, what is that? A tongue depressor? What is that? Is it a stick? A popsicle stick?
Yeah, looks like
they have the
big one.
So at graduation day, they give you your popsicle stick, and then they give you your what do you call it thing? Your jacket you put on, and then you're a pharmacist. As long as you know your primary colors and shades in between, and then you know how to count. And if you go all the way through all of the schooling, you get to the hundreds. You first learn single digits, then you get into the teens. And then you learn, you know, the 10 base systems, you know, 20s and 30s and 40s. And they get so excited. If you ever have a 90-day supply, they get so excited. That's why they have to come back the next day, because it takes them that long to count to 90. Anyway, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Al, what's your comment? Go ahead, Al.
So, Tom, I had the same thing at Walgreens that you have, where they've been trying to tell me when I should feel.
Yeah.
My doctor even called, and he even had it on the prescription, and then they still arguing with me about that. And so, I mean, when they
because they know better.
Yeah, and when they finally filled it, before she even filled it, she's giving me a whole lecture on I should get off this pill and do that. And I go, I have a doctor. I don't need you telling me. But don't go to King Soopers and don't go to Walgreens, because I at the same time switched to King, and I started experiencing the same problem with them trying to tell me what I should take, what pill.
I don't want to get into your private business, but we don't know your last name or anything. What medicine is it?
Well, here's what, when Walgreens first started with one of them was funny. It was just a water pill. It was a low dose of furosemide.
Right.
It was just a water pill.
Right.
And I was like, really, a water pill? And then when my doctor finally, after we was having a problem, he said, well, I'm going to start writing for 90, because I've been on it for, a while.
Now, why do you take a water pill? For blood pressure?
Well, Tom, you remember me. I was really heavy. Remember, I was
I know who you are. Yeah, you're very healthy now. So hold on. Was it for losing weight?
Well, no, because when I was heavy, I told you I let my blood pressure go, so my kidneys got 50-50. So he now keep me on the water pill just to keep my kidneys flush.
But that's between you and your doctor, isn't it?
Right, and they trying to tell me, and so I was like, and I was getting so frustrated, and I was like, I'm pretty sure my doctor paid a lot of money to get, be able to get the advice that he's giving me. And he even talked to them, and they are trying to tell him, and finally he said, go to another pharmacy, because you haven't.
They were arguing. They were arguing with your doctor.
With my doctor, he was on the phone with him. He had it on the prescription.
I can't believe it that they. What you know? What here's Al. Thank you. Here's an easy thing. Just forget about Walgreens. That's the easiest thing in the world. They really suck. But see, this was a godsend for me, because really, it made me price shop. And when I did, I found out not only do they suck, but they're the most expensive. When I found that out, wow. I no longer have to put up with the tattooed, pierced cashiers and the entire low-life atmosphere, dirty floors, disgusting stores. I don't have to put up with it. The drive-thrus are fine. You know, that's another thing pharmacists they have to learn in school, on how to talk through that microphone, because. And then they feel like they're broadcasters. See, they give out pills, they think they're a doctor. They talk on a microphone, they think they're broadcasters. I went in the other day and it was like, welcome to Walmart. Walgreens, what can I do to help you? How many pills do you need? You see, and what color? How many and what color? That's the two things they learn, colors and numbers. I think they might learn some other things. They really get excited with the liquids, because then they got to measure, and it reminds them of when they were, at home with their little kitchen sets. They have to like pour things into little vials. They love that. But they have lines that show them where to pour it to. So class, today we're going to learn pouring. Yes. Take this bottle and you pour it into this bottle. The big bottle into the small bottle. And see those little lines? Those are measurements. Don't concern yourself. Just whatever the doctor says you do. Andrew, what's going on?
Yes, Mr. Martino. I would want to make a comment. It might take another day to fill 90 pills, because they need to get 9 pharmacists in there to count with their toes.
Okay, I got to 10. Who's next? That's a good one.
Yeah, I just want to say our son got off of cancer treatment after 3.5 years of treatment. About 10 days ago, he had a surgery, his last surgery.
Wow.
The surgeon, very skilled surgeon, done a lot of these surgeries, wrote a prescription. We took it to King Soopers to fill it. They accepted the prescription, didn't say anything. Later that night, we got concerned that the prescription wasn't filled, and we called. Turned out that they took the discretion that they weren't going to fill the prescription.
Why?
Because it was Tylenol with codeine in it.
But wait, your son just went through surgery.
Correct.
And they decided they weren't going to fill it. Why didn't they tell you that, so you didn't waste valuable time?
Absolutely, I'm not sure.
How old is your son?
He is 6.
Okay, so they decided they didn't want to fill it. And again, I'm not going to argue with your doctor. What did you do?
So we called he's an oncology patient, so we called our team of doctors and such. They, instead of arguing, they rewrote a prescription, but it wasn't able to be filled for the next day, and it was...
Whoop, hold on. Don't hang up, Andrew. I got you. Just hang on, okay? I want to take this break. Please, Allie, would you get on line 4 and tell him I did not hang up on him. I put him on hold by mistake, but I may as well just take this quick break. One thing I do want to tell you about that's very important, and seriously, it is very important. Water filtration is so important to our homes. You know, when you hear about these water purification companies, they complicate everything. They make them, they use scare tactics to try to get you to buy stuff. That will never happen with Pure Water Choices. Pure Water Choices is simply pure information. He will talk to you about water filtration, plain and simple. Whole house water filtration or points of use. The important thing is you will get accurate information from Al, who is a master plumber, the owner. And he will personally assess your situation and your water without scaring you. But I do want to tell you, even the cleanest municipal water allows for certain medications, sediment, metals, and other materials in your water. It simply, in my opinion, is not suitable to drink. Now, it's not going to kill you or anything, but why do you want that stuff in your body? Or why do you want to wash your dishes with it or take showers or baths with it? Okay, you can get a whole house filtration system, and he'll tell you the difference between the kind of filtration he uses and carbon filtration and all the different kinds. Pure Water Choices is the way to go. You will love this guy. He doesn't exaggerate. He's not expensive. He is honest and ethical. It takes all the mystery out of this rip-off industry. That's Pure Water Choices. He can also do water softening and treatment. 720-219-7818. 720-219-7818. PureWaterChoices.com.
This report is brought to you by Colorado Renaissance.
Crashes in construction clogging up the drive in the metro area. Crash on southbound 225 at Tamarack there. That's got traffic backed up to Parker. Watch out for construction clogging up the drive eastbound C470 at I-70. It's blocking the left lane at that location. Also watch out for construction on southbound I-25 approaching Santa Fe as well. And there's a crash off highway in the cleanup stages at Colorado and Iowa. The weather forecast, sunny and beautiful today with a high near 87 tonight, clear skies and a low of 54 tomorrow, sunny and warmer with a high near 90. Right now, just some clouds in the sky and 76. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
The Colorado Renaissance Festival. Enjoy the fantasy, knights in shining armor, magicians, minstrels, and comedy. Fine arts and crafts and food fit for a king. The Colorado Renaissance Festival, a magical adventure. Open weekends through July 30th. It's affordable fun for everyone.
Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair has a special you can't miss. Find, fix, or free any problem you have in your car for just $89 plus parts, or free. But you get more than just free. You get a complete diagnostic report. So even if they can't fix it, at least you'll know they've taken out all the unknowns. 303-781-9858. 303-781-9858. And on my referral list at referrallist.com.
Due to the sensitive nature of my job, I am forced to disguise myself.
So I sent you an email that we got from a guy who isn't happy about what was said about friends.
Oh, who cares? What did he say? You want to go on the air?
No, I mean, I just thought it was funny, so
Oh, tell me what, you sent it to
Yeah,
me?
I emailed it to you. Yeah.
Good. Oh, he didn't
And then
call.
also, what do we say about millennials, guys? We're bashing millennials today?
Are we?
I'm the last year of being a millennial.
You're not a millennial, are you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Credit card
20.
debt or student loans.
It goes until, we looked it up, 1980
You have to
until
be-
1997.
you had to be an adult
This
at the
is Ross
turn.
Kaminsky for my friends at American
Wait, what?
Financing.
At the
Probably
turn of
you're
the
right.
century, you had to be
American
an
Financing
adult
can help you
to be
by
a millennial.
consolidating your high
That would
interest
be
debt
is that what it
into
is?
one manageable
It said,
mortgage.
well, we looked it up.
Did
It
you
said
know
if you're
you can
born from the
refinance up to
years
85%
1980.
of your
Okay,
and
so when was the
1997.
turn? The turn was in 2000. So if you take 2000 minus 18,
So lock in
right?
rates
And
now.
that would be 1982. Is that what you read?
Yeah, 1982 to 1997.
Exactly.
Are we bashing them? Or what was
I
that?
mean, you know,
Well, you don't have any piercings, the piercings and
No,
tattoos.
I have the
no,
piercing.
82 would be the latest you could be found to be a millennial.
No, that would be the earliest.
No, listen.
82 to 2004.
If you were born in 2004, right, how old would you be now?
7,000. We're online.
Well, you can't be a millennial. A millennial, there's no way that a 13-year-old's a millennial. Millennials are people who were adults.
Can't believe I got it all done.
I mean, that's what, look up the definition first of a millennial.
Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martin.
That's what I was told. I mean, if somebody, I didn't make it up, so whatever they say
Millennials
it
are
is.
Generation Y.
$124.
I'll do whatever they say it is.
I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm a millennial. I mean, I consider myself one, but I don't really know.
Did you get a piercing?
I mean, yeah, I have a piercing. I have 2 or 3 tattoos, but you can't see them, you know. So like, but just saying, guys,
Okay.
just saying.
Gotta have a good neck tattoo to really be one.
Right.
Cleaned and sanitized for just $124.
You know, one of my best clients is a pharmacy tech, Tom.
Call
But
now
she's not
and get
listening.
really clean carpet
Not
with
listening.
zero red.
What's that?
303-471.
One of my best clients is a pharmacy
Zero
tech
red.
at
The only
Costco.
system that completely leaves your carpet without.
You found out, interesting,
303-471.
Costco's pharmacy is not open on Sundays, but in November, they're gonna open, the Park Meadows one is gonna open a liquor store. And there's a law, she said, if they have a liquor store on Sunday, they have to have their pharmacy open. What? Yes. So, because she needs full-time hours, and right now they don't have it. So she's going to be able to get full-time hours in November when the liquor store opens.
That's who?
For Costco. If they, so I don't know if it's an internal policy or law, but if they have a liquor store open, they got to have the pharmacy open.
Next, 6:30.
81 to 97 says millennials.
Your security.
1981 to
1997.
Oh, my kids.
So how old would you be in 97?
Later today at 1
20.
on Denver's
Right now you'd be 20. So how old would you have been?
81. 1936. All right.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome. We are solving problems, answering questions, taking place. We're not done with Andrew. We did get an email. Tell Tom he is an idiot and an ass. His comment about pharmacists was pretty idiotic and ignorant. Bean counters, really? One pill, two, blah, blah, blah. My wife is a pharmacy technician. Well, don't be insulted. She's even less than a pharmacist. She runs and gets the coffee for the pharmacist. She's a pharmacy tech. And she probably turns on the lights, and she probably, if he counts them right, she puts them in the bottle. And anyway, they're not pill counters. She gives advice to nurses and doctors. Sure, I recall my doctor. I recall him right before surgery consulting with Walgreens. Yeah, I do recall that on the type of incision to make and where to make it. And then I remember afterwards the doctor calling to see what kind of medications I should get. And then when I went to BioT, they called Walgreens to make sure they were inserting that pellet properly. Yep, you're right. They give advice to doctors all the time. It's a shame you don't understand. Listen, let's just, please, will you stop? Please. They give advice to doctors? When was the last time your doctor called a pharmacist at Walgreens for some advice? Here's a note to you yourself if that happened. Get another doctor. Okay? So anyway, Walgreens, I'm talking about Walgreens, but I imagine the entire industry is about the same. And here's one. How about this? The only difference between, one guy wrote this to me. What's the difference between a pharmacist and a 7-Eleven worker? Do you know what it is? The color of their smock. Because with a pharmacist, they're white or blue. And I think in 7-Eleven, they're green, right? They're green. But I think the guys in 7-Eleven can count higher. 303-713-8255. Here's the deal. They're self-important so-called healthcare providers who are trying to make decisions that they're just frustrated. They are to the medical industry that security guards are to the police industry. The police, all of that. They want to be police, but they're not quite there. So they carry around their pepper spray, and they dream of having a bullet one day. And the pharmacists, they of course are busy giving advice to your doctor, according to this guy. Andrew, so your son was prescribed Tylenol 3, which is Tylenol with codeine. King Soopers would not fill the prescription. Your doctor, as an oncologist, had to call, and what did he do?
They had to write a new prescription, and it was for liquefied oxycodone.
Okay, and then they filled that.
And they filled that. This is about 24 hours after my son's surgery. He had to go through the night.
What did your doctor think about the pharmacist refusing to fill it?
Well, doctors, the medical community likes to cover themselves quite well, but shocked was probably a reasonable way to put it. He's not going to argue with them, but he assured us that he knows what he's doing.
Okay, but he did change the prescription. So why were they able to fill a prescription with oxycodone liquid and not Tylenol 3? Did they give a reason?
Well, the pharmacist made the statement of there's new recommendations saying they don't want oxycodone given, or the additive and Tylenol given to children.
Okay, so
so
the Tylenol.
Surgeon.
So
a surgeon.
No, I understand, but maybe the King Soopers pharmacist was right in this regard on the Tylenol part. Maybe they were saying if he needs it for pain, just give him the liquid oxycodone minus the Tylenol. Who knows? But in any case, but it sounds like your doctor actually followed their advice. I mean, if we want to be serious about this.
Well, maybe, or maybe they weren't going to argue and knew that our son was possibly in pain and just wanted to give him some kind of pain medication.
Here's the most important question. How is your son doing?
Thank you, sir. He's doing wonderful. He beat leukemia, and he is a brave boy, and I hope all children take his example.
How old is he right now?
He just turned 6, sir.
And when did you first discover the leukemia?
He was 2.5 years old.
And what hospital did he go to?
Children's Hospital.
So he's been battling for 4 years or so, and right now he's 6. How is he doing as far as health? I mean, did they say he's clear, or what's the word they use?
Yes, he is in
remission. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And so, from a father's point of view, he is medically, he's good. It's kind of scary. They stopped giving him chemo now. So,
well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe
Yes, sir. There is a lot of damage done. This particular case, the leukemia it had is a blood-borne cancer, but it had penetrated the brain. So he got a lot of chemo and radiation in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So there is learning disabilities. But as a father, you don't care.
Like, when you say learning disabilities, are they apparent when you talk to him, or are they subtle?
Talking is one of the most difficult ones for him. Putting word to tongue. He's very brilliant, but speaking the words is very difficult.
Okay, so what's his name if I want to pray for him directly? What's his name?
Oh, bless your heart, sir. His name is Callum, K-A-L-L-U-M.
K-A-L-L-U-M. Well, thank you very much for calling. I wish you the best. And I will. During this break, I'm going to say a prayer for him, okay? So it's a wonderful thing, though, that he's in remission. We'll see what happens. 303-713-TALK. Oh, Andrew, just keep in mind that cancer loves sugar and carbs. Cancer loves it. 303-713-8255. Oh, man, we got so much going on today. It is very, very busy. Approval Reverse Mortgage. What is it? It's a mortgage place that you can call to find out about loans on the equity in your home that you never pay back, unless you want to. When you're 62 or older, you can just die in your home, and your home is the most they can take, or you can just pay it off, and any money left over goes to your heirs, like any other loan. By the way, if you want the right information, call Joan Sullivan, 303-771-3528. That's 771-3528. And for those who are wondering about Father's Day, anything special, Rockies has something special going on for Father's Day. They have, let me see where it is. I want to tell you about it because it's so cool, and I want you to go. It starts at about 10 in the morning at Rockies. I'm looking up the information, and they're going to have the spinning of the prize wheel, and it's for Colorado National Speedway. I'm looking for the information. I know I have it here, right in this folder, if you just give me 1 second. And it's so wonderful that they're doing this. Here it is. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So it's 10 to 1, 63rd and Federal, 10 in the morning. Now, when you go and spin this prize wheel, you can get tickets to the Speedway Racing on Father's Day. That's Saturday night. Or Sunday, the Monster Truck Show. So Rockies is sponsoring the Colorado National Speedway Father's Day weekend. They start on Saturday at 10 in the morning. You can go and spin the prize wheel, meet the Shag Man, maybe some drivers, see some cars, spin the wheel 10 to 1, 63rd and Federal. Win tickets for either Saturday's races that evening, for the Father's Day Super races on that night, or the next day, the Monster Truck Show. Of course, you can always look at cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans at Rockies, where you get great prices, great selection, and great financing. That's 63rd and Federal. Remember, that's Saturday, 10 to 1. Excel Roofing is a company I can highly recommend. You may have some old damage, call them. But if anything happens these next few months, remember Excel Roofing. They may not come knocking at your door, but they will be the ones you want. First of all, they're never going to ask you to sign anything to look at your roof. You should never have to sign anything to look at your roof. That's a bunch of crap, these roofers that knock on the door. They're tricking you into a contract. Excel will never trick you into a contract. They will give you a complete contract when they're done examining and tell you everything you need, and if you like it, you sign it. They'll even help negotiate with your insurance adjuster because they know how to deal with insurance companies. But whether it's insurance pay or self-pay, call Excel. You will never have to put any money up front ever, and you will never have any penalty clauses in that contract because they know you want to stick with them and they don't want to force you. 303-761-6400, the only way to run a roofing company. ExcelRoofing.com. And look for Excel on my referral list at referralist.com.
Hey, it's Ross, and I'm here with Mike, who, well, let's just say Advanced Tax Solutions made a big difference in your life. Tell us your story. What happened that Christmas Eve?
I got a letter from the IRS, and they said that I owed them $80.
Accident at Dinosaur National Park.
Yeah, I figured that I'd sneak by.
I guess since it was I had a major crush on him. I did really well in his class. I think I wanted to. I know I wanted to impress him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And it was like the most least interesting subject of all. It was property law.
Got my compromise offer.
So,
for how much?
What, drowning, I imagine, huh?
Yeah, I would think so.
Mike right now. Mike's not acting. That smile on his
Weird. A friend of mine sent it to me on Facebook on the internet. All it says is Denver man, and that they haven't released the name.
Oh, really?
And I always thought he was younger than me, but he's a couple years older than me.
303-753-6040 or online at advancedtaxsolutions.com.
Clogged drains, slow drains, and pump line services can't unclog your main drain for just $93. There's no charge.
I imagine the river's probably running
If there's a
pretty
serious problem,
high,
will
too,
present
there.
you with honest options to fix it. Unlike the others, Pump Line has its own drain division. Eliminate the middleman. Go direct and save. And if you've already got
I tell you,
Pump Line gives
there's a lot of close calls on the river. I've been rafting a few times, but you get behind those rocks and stuff, and it's not like being shot off the river.
Exactly.
You know, you get cut underneath the undertow, or
suffering from osteoarthritis of the knee, low back, neck, shoulders, hips, or other joint pain, stop and listen. These are must-attend stem cell therapy educational seminars, free, with no obligation to you. Find solutions to your pain and information that could change the way you live. With seminars in Denver, the Tech Center, Littleton, Boulder, and other places in Fort Collins, there's sure to be one near you.
so you say you're going on vacation this summer then?
It's Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day.
We go.
Back home, or?
That's our New York trip.
I will never use Walgreens as long as I live. I'm uninstalling the app.
I'm Tom Martino. I have stem cell therapy on my lower back.
I'm supposed to go to Mexico in October with my sister, but she wants to get her doctor's clearance.
My pain was gone, and now I don't even.
Hey, I tell you, Bonnie, Mexico just. There's just too much. And I know if you stay in the resort, you're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear all that stuff going on, and even like Cabo San Lucas, a sleepy little fishing town used to be and stuff. The drug cartels down there, I just don't know.
True carries the best warranty
in
the industry. 10 years on all parts, 20 years on Tough Stuff Strength Equipment, which has been in business for 46 years.
Going to like Cancun.
Stay within
Stay at your hotel and that. If you leave there.
Well, I like I don't. Yeah, but even then, you want to go out and do something. Go and see the sights around there, not just. You just want to go to the beach.
It's not safe to go to the countryside.
Right, I know it. That's what you want to do. I mean, I'd like to go see the pyramids. Or things or go fishing.
Center, University and C47. Check us out at Fitness.
I want my head too.
Fitness Gallery, keeping Colorado in shape since 1997.
I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans. They have the rate guarantee.
Did you talk to Concrete
Rates go down, they will refinance.
Still haven't got back with me.
Charge 303-867.
But like I said, I talked to her. I told you that. She was fine with it, but I haven't talked to Devin.
I'm not talking about being fine with it.
Yep.
You know, they can be fine with almost anything. That's not what they ask. Is this ad wrong? Is there anything in this ad that's wrong? Anything. Don't leave. Is it okay if we don't say permanent? Oh, sure. Is it? I mean, that is not a question. is it okay? Sure. You know, that doesn't mean I'm going to take it out just because it's okay. I'm not taking it out just because one man says he doesn't want it.
You want them to say, yes, we don't want to say permanent.
You know, I want him to say there's something wrong with that ad and pick it out for himself.
Okay.
Because if he doesn't pick it out, that means it doesn't raise a red flag. If you make it a point, anybody in the world, if you make something a point, will be forced to think about it and then go to the ultimate meaning, which is never, ever.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, what's going on? How can we help you? That's what I ask each and every day, and that's what I want to do. And even though you think that is not my goal, some of you, no, it is. It is ultimately my goal to help people. But doggone it, much of the help I give is based on personal experience, and I discover stuff, and I have to let you know. Like Walgreens, in my opinion, is a complete and utter ripoff in the pharmacy business. They charge more than almost any other pharmacy, and not only do they charge more, of course, you can draw your own conclusions when it comes to customer service, but it's dismal, it's disgusting. Never will a penny of my money ever go to that store or any part of that store. Now listen, that is what it takes as a consumer to change things. You just stop spending money there. If someone screws you, stop spending money. That sends a message more than anything in the world. You just stop spending money. Our dollars, our dimes, our pennies, they are ballots. They are ballots. We vote every day with them. And you can't keep voting for them and then out of one side of the mouth and then criticize them on the other. There are many people that criticize Walmart. I hear it all the time. I don't know why exactly, but they do. Yet they go there and spend money. Dan's got a comment. Go ahead, Dan.
Hi, Tom. Long-time listener.
What's happening, sir?
I want to talk to you about King Soopers North and Longmont.
What's the problem?
No problem. Excellent people there.
Good.
Caring people.
Good.
My son's doctor prescribed penicillin for him years ago, and they caught that he was allergic to it.
Now, how did they catch that? That's really good. How did they do that?
It's in their records, I guess.
Oh, then why did your doctor prescribe it?
Why? Stupid.
And why didn't you know that your son was allergic?
You know, I didn't know. I was working. My wife was handling it, and just the prescription was called in,
and your wife didn't know he was allergic either?
Well, I guess not at the time. But
well, then how did Walgreens find out what records would have the allergy listed? I'm wondering where they got the records.
Well, from previous being there. We've been going to King Soopers in North for...
But somebody must have told King Soopers he was allergic because the doctor doesn't send records to them.
Yeah, I don't know how that goes.
Well, I don't know either. That's why I'm confused, Dan. I really am confused. I'm glad that you had a good experience with him. But as far as I know, the story is not accurate because they don't keep records from doctors. Somebody would have had to you had to have told them at one time, but yet you said you didn't know and your wife didn't know. Your doctor doesn't call the pharmacy, so not to give records. So how they found out your son was allergic, you said they picked up on it. That's a mystery to me. So I don't even understand it. I'm sorry, I just don't understand it. What's going on with Denisha? Denisha, Bonnie Shields is with us, Bonnie Shields Law. You have a problem with Arapahoe Child Protective Services. Bonnie, what are Child Protective Services in a nutshell? What do they do?
Well, they can investigate allegations, of child abuse
or neglect.
Or neglect.
Okay.
Or neglect.
Okay, so Denisha, what's going on?
Okay, so I had a open dependency and neglect case because of my mother.
How did that first happen? When did it happen?
This happened in this damn near 2 years now.
The original case was 2 years ago?
The original opening in August 2015.
And who opened the case?
My mom called on me, and then Kelly Holtz was the...
Now, you don't have to mention names, but why did your mom call?
Because she's just a hater. We got into an argument over food stamps, honestly.
Okay, so she was mad at you and called Protective Services. That's a pretty serious thing to do.
Yes, because she does this. I mean, if I have documentation from 2014 when we got into this over food stamps.
But here's the other thing. If Protective Services investigated, that's one thing. But normally, Bonnie, if someone complains and they don't find anything, it ends there, right? They don't just look for dirt, do they?
Right. No, they'll come to some conclusion, such as it's
unfounded,
or there's not enough evidence, or they keep going and they open the case.
So what happened in your case 2 years ago when your mother called?
So, they had asked me to take a drug test because my mom had told them that I was doing drugs.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I took a drug test. Mind you, my kids were not present. I told the lady when she called me, like, "Are your kids home?" I'm like, "No, they're with their grandma. It's the summer." You know what I'm saying? My sons are 8 and 9, so my grandma.
What happened with the? Let's go to the drug test. What happened?
Took a drug test. It came back positive for cocaine.
Whoa.
So they took So they took my kids because they said I was parenting while high, even though my kids were not present.
You were doing cocaine on your own time, is what you're saying?
Yes, I'm an adult. I mean, yeah, we have fun. We turned up. We have fun. We're young. I'm 24. I was like 23.
So how do they, Bonnie? How do they look at illegal? It's not even the same as marijuana anymore. But how do they look at that? Even if she wasn't with the kids, it is serious that she's doing.
It's really serious. So what makes you think you can say, okay, now it's out of my system. Now it's safe for the kids to come back home?
No, my thing is my kids were never in danger to begin with, though. My kids weren't even with me. It's not like my house blew up or
I know what you're saying.
Neglected or something
Denisha,
like that.
we're not saying, and we're not accusing you of that. What we're saying is the mere fact that it was present in your system would give them pause because they would think, she is a user. Not that you might be high at that moment or with your children, but the fact that you're even doing.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So anyway, what happened after that?
Okay, long story short, they had I started these classes and they had placed my kids with my mom. And they placed my kids with my older sister.
Well, you better be happy that at least they kept them with family.
Right. So I'm grateful for that. They weren't just in foster care.
So, Bonnie, that's pretty serious. The kids were actually taken away and placed somewhere. So they must.
This is with no court order or anything. They did so many things wrong.
Well, wait a minute.
No court order, anything. They just.
Can they do that without?
They have certain powers. They don't necessarily have to go through the court system.
Now you didn't protest because had you protested, they would have had to go to court.
I have to end up making them take me to court because they wanted me to they either told me that I have to find somewhere for my kids to be placed or they would until we figured everything out.
Okay,
so I my kids with my cousin.
So you said, so where does it stand right now? Why are you calling now?
This is why I'm calling now because there's a deeper family dynamic between me, my mom, and my sister.
Well, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, right. So this is where my kids have been with my older sister, and I've been telling these people that it's a lot of stuff. But anyway, last month we had a court date, right? A hearing.
By the way, Denisha, do you visit now during the last 2 years?
Yes, I do.
How much visitation did you get?
They give me 2 hours a week.
Is it supervised?
Yes, at the building, and then they end up giving us taking everything away in December because they're like, well, we don't have no reason to. The parents at the time worker didn't want me there anymore. They were tripping me about marijuana. I got a marijuana license.
Denisha, I need to. Right, I understand. I just need a bunch of questions because Bonnie needs this information. So basically, did they have what was called a parenting plan to get back into good graces? Did they have a plan?
Yes, they did.
What was the plan? What was the plan?
For me to complete a drug and alcohol class.
Mm-hmm. Did you do that?
A week. Yes, I did. Take 2 UAs a week. And,
did you do that?
Yes, I did, and Aurora Mental Health.
And
I did not do Aurora Mental Health.
And did you come out clean each time?
Yes, I didn't have any cocaine. I did have marijuana in my system, but I have a red card, so they weren't tripping off of that. That's why they stopped our visits, and they gave us 10 visits. Like, my kids were coming over every day after school. The only time they were away from me was when it was time to go to bed. Until my baby told me that my sister's husband hit him in the face with a broom.
Okay, so Denisha, let me get this straight then. So after you did a few UAs that were clean, and after you were pretty
compliant,
level, they started letting you see your kids a lot.
Yeah, they took the visits. They stopped the visits at the building, and whenever my sister was able or free and I was free, my kids could come around.
All right, hold on, and we'll come right back to you. Just hold on.
understand why somebody just can't stay freaking sober if your kids are sick. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Especially when you lose them.
Yeah, what's more important?
I hate that, it's okay because I have medical marijuana card.
That's just that whole card thing is just so stupid.
No, and then they think
it's no different than if you need to give up booze to have your kids, then give the booze up. If you need to stay sober for your children, you stay sober for your children.
You're over 21, and booze is legal, so still it's bad.
It's no different than the pot. It's legal, but that doesn't mean it's okay to be high or drunk when you take care of children.
The comment that's probably come out more in Colorado is that, well, it's okay to have a medical card. Just like jobs, they feel, well, I can't get fired.
That card's such a joke. I have thought about going to get one just to see. I just know it's super easy just to see. And I thought, oh no, I don't want my name on the list.
No, that you can't have. I don't know how you are guns, but you can't have a gun permit if you have a medical marijuana card.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I did not know that.
I don't know what else, other things and stuff, but that is one of those deals that, plus it probably is, I imagine there's other places as far as where records are at.
It's like a cash deal when you make an offer. All you need is an appraisal. 5 3-week closes, and everything is guaranteed in writing.
Like I say, I'm with you. It's just total. When you already have the deal with your kids, why would you just...
Is this Sunday Father's Day?
It is.
Ideal Home Loans is regulated by the Division of Real Estate. NMLS number 136756. Call 303.
Tom, how many kids do you have?
Just 2.
$32%
Boy and a girl.
I thought you had an adult child too.
Oh, no. Griffin is, my stepson, but... But I never had an adult son. I mean, an adult child. They're just 10 and 12.
Great deal. And this month at Shop BMW, you can take advantage of thousands of dollars in credits on popular models like the 3 Series, X1, and even luxurious X5, combined with a 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty and 3 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. It's a deal you can't afford to miss. So visit Shop at 470 in Lucent or check out their new specials page at shopbmw.com today.
Want to get an air conditioner for half price? You can with Plumline Services when you buy a new furnace. That's right, AC for half price. Plus you get up to $1,120 in utility company rebates, free financing for 1 year, and a 10-year parts and labor warranty. An incredible deal this month only. Plumline Services. Plumline is not playing games with this pricing. This is a real deal. The furnace at their regular low price and the AC half price. Call now, 303-562.
By the way, Denise is missing something in her story. They wouldn't keep her away for 2 years if she was taking regular UAs and coming out clean. There's more to that.
She said they were concerned, but then when she started being compliant.
Yeah, they have some really strict deadlines. I could see it taking maybe a year to iron it out, not 2.
Wouldn't they have her go to a drug rehab right away, or a place right away if she wanted to keep that?
No, I mean, they'll order the testing and the classes, but the rehab, because I don't know who's paying for that.
Okay, maybe not the rehab, maybe just the testing.
Yeah, testing for sure.
Sure, you can post your job to some
2
job
years.
board, but
now she wants it back as the right person.
Yeah, they wouldn't hold her for 2 years unless she failed some tests or they found something else out.
Depend on candidates finding you. It finds
I don't take cases where there are social services involved because they drive me nuts. But I do know it wouldn't take 2 years if she's been compliant.
Of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate
and shown that she's not tested, that she's not using.
Hey, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free.
That's kind of funny on that. She says, well, I wasn't hiding while they were there with the quote. Like that, the court is going to believe your word.
And it stopped reacting in my system the moment they walked back in the door.
Are on the top of your mind.
And actually, cocaine gets out of your system pretty quick.
It what?
It gets out of your system pretty quick.
Does it?
Yeah. Blood test for
Everyone should be trained on. Well, hair test is 90 days.
Right,
so
hair test, but I'm sure they weren't. That's a hair test is an expensive test. Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Denisha said 2 years ago her mom made trouble with Child Protective Services, made a complaint, said she was on drugs. They did a drug test, found that she was positive for cocaine. They took the children, placed the children with her family, her mom and her sister, for about 2 years. On and off she had visits, and then when she became compliant to their plan, they let her see the kids way more often, and then something happened. What happened, Denisha, after that?
Yes, it was actually Christmas Day. We were opening presents, and my oldest son, he waited actually for my big sister to exit the room, and he leaned in and whispered to me that my son Chip, we call him Cash and Chip, so Chip is my youngest one, and he's like, Mom, Chip got popped really bad by Uncle Kirk. And I'm like, what? He's like, he got popped really bad.
Okay, so what happened after that then? You found out your son said he was hit by his uncle.
Yeah,
that made
so
you
my
upset.
sister-
So then what?
Yeah. So my sister comes out the bathroom, and, you know, I ask her, I even tell her, like, I'll have to actually accept the fact if you discipline your blood
I understand.
nephews,
But
because
this was in December, though, and now it's June.
Right.
So what happened?
So after we complained about it, because she's like, well, he got hit with what? And I'm like, what do you mean with what? And my son was like, the broom, the one in the kitchen.
Okay. The conversation, the individual conversation, I don't need to know as much as the action. So what happened after that?
So then we kind of got into a dispute, and then the next day I got a call from social services saying that my sister no longer felt comfortable doing kinship visits. So we had to wait for somebody back at the building to be able to watch us for 2 hours a week. So we didn't see each other. I didn't see my kids till like March.
Oh, so she kind of took it out on you because you were complaining. Okay, so then you started seeing them in March, but why are you calling today?
I'm calling today because last month we had a hearing because me and my sister got into another argument, and she basically told the courts that she did not want to keep my children unless she was able to adopt them.
What, are you kidding me? So they're trying to terminate your rights completely?
Yes. Okay.
What did the court say?
So this was that last month. So last month we went to court, and they are waiting for the tribes to respond back because we have Native American in this. But that's not the gag. The gag is last month the whole team basically stood up there at court against me and told the judge how my sister's house so much better than my house. She's better a parent to my kids than me, whatever. Then we find out last Thursday she called the police on my son. She called the police on my son because she said that my son
How old is your son?
Sexually 7. She says that my son has been sexually molesting her son. Okay, she calls the police on my son. My children are no longer at my sister's house as of right now, my older sister's house.
Where are your children right now?
Now my children right now, as of right now, are with my younger sister.
Well, thank God they're still with family, but I need to know, listen, are you charged with anything?
No, I'm not charged with anything at all. They don't even have any grounds to freaking, that's why my lawyer is so...
Hold on, you do have an attorney.
Yes, I do.
And they are not, let me get this straight, they are not terminating your rights. They're not giving your children to your sister.
No, not at all.
Good.
Well, my next court date is July 6th, because right now I'm actually on my way to an emergency custody hearing because they were supposed to be with her until our next court date, July 6th, but
they were supposed to be with with who? Your younger sister?
My older sister until the next court date.
But I would think your older sister is now out of the picture if she's making accusations of sexual.
Now she's out of the picture. But my thing is, so that was Thursday. My visits with my children are every Saturday. So on Saturday, when my kids realized that they were never going to see my sister again or have to go back to her house, they started singing like canaries about everything that's been going on in that house, which is ridiculous. All the abuse that my kids been going through.
What kind of abuse? What kind of abuse?
They said the first thing, he was like, well, Mom, Uncle Kirk is really mean to me. He calls us bad names. He calls us bad words.
Yeah, don't say those words. Okay, so.
Yeah, I'm not going to say them.
But there is no, let me get this straight, there is no sexual abuse, right?
Not that my sons have
said
anything, but for my son to be pulling down his pants and trying to stick his penis in his cousin.
Wait, hold on.
Happened.
Hold on. So he was accused of that, right?
Yes, that's what my sister is saying.
Right. But right now, hold on. At least your kids are out of there. So what is the next step?
Well, I'm actually on my way to Arapahoe County now.
And what advice do you need? Why did you call? What do you need?
I need to know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I need to know what to do.
Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you from what I've been hearing, and this is really important. Okay, first of all, your kids are being tugged in all different directions.
Yes, they are.
All that matters, and Bonnie is going to go along with this with me. You have to convey to the judge that you will do whatever it takes to make a safe and secure home for your children. You simply need a plan. You will follow it. But you do not want to lose your children. You do not plan on giving up your parenting rights. That's what you have to convey to that judge. That's all that judge wants to hear. Do not get heavy into accusations back and forth. Right, Bonnie? Don't they hate that, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Into accusations.
Exactly. They want to hear positive things that you want to make a safe and secure home.
Do you think you pay too much to sell a house? Hi, this is John Vizzi with Colorado Flat Fee Realty. If you sell a $400,000 house...
She was just venting. If there's some reason she doesn't have her kids.
Yeah, but she admitted it, and now she wants to get them back. But man, I just can't believe that.
Why would you list with anyone else?
Those poor kids.
300-9660 or visit ColoradoFlatFeeRealty.com.
Might have been better not to be with that family, Tom.
Well, it's kind of funny that they did that and they wanted to adopt them.
They can help you with that consolidation.
However it was before that.
Yeah.
What did you put in the first hour? We got to let's do 3 to get the 4 out of the thing.
The whole discipline thing that gets.
I mean the first break. I'm sorry.
Mortgage and all. All right, so first break, we're going to do Ideal, Art of Granite, and Concrete Lift.
7,000IdealHomeLoans.com. Equal Opportunity Lender regulated by DORA. NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
This is Denver's Talk Station. More with Martino
At least it was good Sam.
on 630 KHOW and iHeartRadio Station.
Foster, isn't that the worst?
FBI is taking
Bonnie,
over
do
the
you do it for the
investigation
foster
into
program
this
very much?
shooting
Or,
on an Alexander
No,
I can't even imagine
House
kids getting
Majority
bumped
Whip
around like
sees
that.
police
It's
among
terrible.
several people who were wounded when a man opened fire on GOP lawmakers.
It's a really
who were
distasteful
practicing
area of
for
law.
charity baseball
I'll bet it
games.
is.
And I've seen neglect cases, and it's a whole separate area. I don't know those statutes.
In remarks
I
to the
refer
White
those
House,
cases
President
out
Trump
every
praised those
single time.
officers
I know
and
that
many lives would have
can't
been
help
lost
bring that
if not
home
for
with
their
you.
heroic
Every night
efforts.
stuff
Our
starts
brilliant
with-
Capitol
That would be
Police.
bad enough. That would be bad.
A challenging job with incredible
That's
skill.
where I think the court system is really hard. Because I'm sure they try to do what's right. But
Despite the
Yeah.
gunfire, the charity congressional baseball
I feel sorry for the
will
judges
go
that
on
hear
as
those all
planned
day
tomorrow.
long.
That's according to House Speaker
Right.
Paul
There is,
Ryan. Police is
I don't know
now
which
out of
county it is. One of the counties, though, the judges that do the dependency and neglect, which is the ugliest of the ugliest cases, they also get to do the adoptions. And so, and I do adoptions, do like step-parent adoptions. On adoption day, it's the only time you have to take your kid to court. And the judges will take pictures with your kids afterwards. I did one in Colorado Springs, and that judge actually let you bring in food. All the relatives were there while he did, let the stepmom adopt the kid. I mean, it was a happy day for these judges. They love it. They love adoption day, and they usually schedule them once or twice a month. And there's all these kids you can see out in the hall, and they're all in little suits and fancy dresses and stuff. And when we did it with my daughter, she was a foreign adoption. We have all kinds of things the judge posts with the cousins and the aunts and the grandparents, and I think it's really cool. So it's the one really fun thing they get to do. A pleasant thing.
And hopefully it all turns out good.
Yeah.
You hate to do that, have a fun day, and then a couple months later.
This report is brought to you by Moderna.
Yeah, well, for the foster care, I mean, anything else.
She's on one now. She's been on
Visitors reduce the
Okay.
series of your scars with the #1 doctor and pharmacist recommended scar care brand, Moderna. Moderna Advanced Scar Gel is the trusted once-daily formulation that's clinically shown to work. Moderna Advanced Scar Gel from the Moderna family of skincare solutions.
Nothing is more important than your health. I'm Donnie, owner of Fitness Gallery, where we sell the world's finest fitness equipment. Going on now at our tent sale, save up to 40% off. True treadmills, ellipticals, and stationary bikes carry the industry's best warranty. 10 years on all parts, 30 years on motors. And our Tough Stuff strength equipment. 46 years in manufacturing, a lifetime warranty on all parts. 2 convenient locations north off of I-25.
So where's your child from born? Why is you adopted them?
She's from Guatemala.
Really? Griffin's in Guatemala this week on a mission trip.
Really?
So
They need a lot of help down there.
oh my God, he's at the dump. You know about that?
At the dump.
You look it up. The entire society has been built around, an entire society has been built around the dump. An entire social structure. Why? Because every day, hundreds of thousands of pounds of garbage is added to it. It's spreading and spreading. And these people are descended upon it. They live at the dump. They build houses in the dump.
Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere. And I invite you to give us a call if you have any problems, questions, or complaints. We have a lot going on. Now, we have had a continuing discussion. I'm getting loads of email on pharmacies, where to go. People automatically go to chain pharmacies. They don't realize there are so many quality independent pharmacies. And one of the reasons they give they don't go to those pharmacies is price. Yet, Walgreens, when I've checked, is among the highest of prices when it comes to prescription drugs. Yet they continue to get the majority of the business. Why is that happening? I do not understand. I think it's all marketing. But basically, Walgreens is probably not only among the more expensive, but they're among the most rude and obnoxious people, and it must be cultural because within the company, because I don't think it's a coincidence that people that work there are unhappy and miserable. So that's the culture of Walgreens and the price at Walgreens. If you want to pay more, go there. And we've been asking people where they go. Also, we have Bonnie Shields with us, attorney at law for family law. And we just had a call on dependency and neglect. It's called DNN for short in the business. Bonnie, with dependency and neglect, there is always a reason, a serious reason kids are taken away. I know we feel like, oh, kids are taken away, and the people involved say there's never a good reason. This is one area where I have found that the state does not abuse their rights or their authority. Do you find that?
I think so, although what I will tell people is sometimes it's really hard to get human services involved, but once they're involved, it's difficult to get them out.
Right.
I think sometimes they might remain on a little bit longer, but I'd rather have the kids protected and to be safe.
But usually if there's a dependency and neglect action, there's a reason for it.
There's usually a really good reason for it.
And the best thing you need to do is not throw accusations out. Judges hate name-calling back and forth, and it tends to discredit you. Don't you believe that?
And I think they write that off. I think you're much better being proactive about here's where
what do I need to do?
And what do I need to do?
Right.
That's perfect.
Now, Ann, I'm so sorry you had to wait so long about HOA problems. Go ahead, Ann. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Hi there, Tom.
Hi, Ann.
Thank you for taking my call today.
Thank you for waiting. What's going on?
Sure. Okay, so my situation is I've been a homeowner in southwest Denver in a condominium complex for the past 15 years.
Okay.
And over the years, there has been a pattern of abuses and some property environment neglect.
By individuals?
By the board and the management company.
You know, that's terrible because here's why. When you have a management company that the longer they're around, the more power they get, and they get sneaky power. They start putting up votes like that will say something like, we automatically get renewed unless a majority or 75% of the homeowners say no, or something. I'm not saying that's happening in this case, but they become self-feeding monsters. So what's going on in your case?
So I would agree with that statement. But what is happening here, and what my question is, there have been a number of lawsuits,
for what?
Liability lawsuits through the years, people getting hurt on the property, units not being properly repaired after some flooding that was due to construction issues.
So are you blaming the board and the management company for this?
No, what my question is,
Sure.
I have been told, and I want to verify this with you, that there is a threshold by which if the HOA has been sued too many times, that they can no longer be insured for liability.
No, yes, there is a threshold, but it's fluid. It's not absolute. There's no law. There's no regulation. The insurance industry has an appetite, a certain appetite, and if you go beyond it, they're done with you. But what that is depends on the insurance company. HOAs, if they have a lot of problems, time and time again, can be dropped by insurance companies. Yes, that's true.
Dropped, and then it would be more difficult to replace
more
that
expensive.
With another.
It would be more expensive. There's always insurance available if you're willing to pay.
Okay. All right. Well, that answers my question about that. I do have a second question.
Sure. No, go ahead.
Okay. So now, in 15 years, not once has the board or the management company been audited. Now, 5 years ago, we started receiving increases 10% every year. We are now in a budget that's over $500,000 a year.
Now, Ann, how many units?
240.
Okay. Let me tell you some things in general. Okay. Each and every homeowner member has a responsibility to watch out.
Absolutely.
Okay, and to observe. And you also have the right to see everything. You have the individual right to see everything. Now, you can conduct your own audit, or you can hire someone. You can't force them to hire anyone unless it's in the bylaws. What is built into the bylaws when it comes to that kind of stuff? What's built in?
So this is something that has just come up within the past couple of days, and I will have to look that up.
Okay.
But what I have been researching through Dora and through a couple of law firms that provide a lot of information online was what is the procedure for having requesting an audit and actually having it
depends on your bylaws.
Okay, so
there is no uniform. You only have rights by state law where your homeowners agreements do not address them. There are very few laws on the books about homeowners associations. If you think you can find, oh, here's the procedure for this and here's the procedure for that, it doesn't work that way. What has happened is HOAs formed and homeowners got together and made their own little governing agencies. Then what happened was there was so much backlash from abuse of HOAs that the state formed certain, I think they have an agency that overlooks HOAs and observes them and supervises, but they don't make law. There's not a lot of law. There are some, but it's very, very light. The main thing is your operating agreement. And then if it's abusive, then there are ways to change it. Within each operating agreement would be bylaws. Those bylaws say how you can amend the bylaws. They say how you can request audits. They say what your rights are. And if enough people get together, you can change the bylaws. You know, you can start out with something that's very abusive and very aloof and end up with a very great association if you can get people interested. But, Ann, most of the time, you have a small few that get involved in HOAs, and everyone else goes along like sheep because they're too busy to get involved.
Yes, that's exactly
and your
right.
biggest challenge, Ann,
just listening and not really, maybe sometimes always understanding what's going on or asking the more pointed questions.
Well, and unless you get other people interested, it's not going to happen. And you'll find something very interesting. You'll find most homeowners associations do not allow owners to get lists of people who live there. So if you wanted to send out an email or if you wanted to send out a notice, they won't let you. You have to do it on your own. They make it very difficult for people to organize because the small group that gets in power, they get their friends in power, and then their friends get their friends in power. And over the years, you're going to find that HOAs are usually governed by a small group of people that remain the same. And
they have changed several times, you know, amongst this period of time.
But they're friendly handoffs usually. Usually you don't have.
That is the case right now with our property.
So what you need to do is get people interested, a lot of people.
And now to organize, because I've thought about that, and I've actually tried this quite a while back ago, to have sort of like a homeowners advocacy group that together we can go to the meetings, maybe trade off, but make sure that those important questions, those more important questions and pointed questions are being asked rather than just sitting there being fed information.
Yes, of course. Right.
I have found is very often untruthful.
So you got to get a committee together, but it's not official. If you get 100 people together or 50 people that are interested, that's a pretty strong voting block. You guys can hand out pamphlets and brochures, but you have to make sure also, you also have to make sure that there's not one person that holds a majority or a vast number of proxies, because if that happens, it can ruin the project forever. I'm going to give you a very real, I want to give you a very real example. And I don't care if they like it or not. At Pantera Plaza, which is a very popular condominium building in the tech center, they have one person who has an unbelievable number of proxies. She's accumulated them over the years. Over the years. In other words, what she has done is had people who don't go to meetings and don't care give her the voting rights. Now, with the voting rights, then, she is able to put people in power that are friendly to her. And what it amounts to is literally a dictatorship. Because in order to get rid of her, they would have to vote. In order to vote, they have to get a majority, and she already holds the majority. So she controls who's on the board, she controls who's on the architectural committee, she controls every aspect of that entire complex. And once you get that power, it is almost impossible to get it back unless each and every one of those proxies decide not to give it to her. They say, you know what, this year we want to vote on our own. But the problem is you can't find out which proxies she carries, so you can't contact them to tell them what's going on. That literally becomes a problem forever. And I'm telling you, it's now I'll let you talk, Ann. I got to take a break. Ken, you have a quick comment on pharmacies. Go ahead. What is your comment?
Well, first of all, people need to realize that you can't trust pharmacies nearly as much as you think you can.
No, I know you can't. I know you can't. There's a lot. They kill a lot of people every year.
I was in North Carolina. My son was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I had a tooth problem, and I needed to get a tooth pulled. So I had an infection, and the dentist gave me a prescription for penicillin, and I went to the pharmacy and got the prescription filled and immediately started taking it. And you know how when you take a pill, you'll shake a pill out and take it, wait till you're supposed to take it again and take it again. Well, the next day I got so sick I could not believe how sick I was.
What did they do?
Well, first of all, they mixed my pills with a pill that they give people for epileptic seizures.
Oh.
And I did not know it for 2 days. After I started feeling a little bit better, I went to take a pill and I shook out more than one, and I noticed that there were two different types of pills.
Were they different colors or different shapes?
Different shapes and different colors
All right.
as well.
Now I'm sorry. I know that this is an important story, Ken, and I know that it happened to you. Suffice it to say it did happen, and people can't trust pharmacists. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go through each and every instance with you on what happened, but your story is telling, and it's important. I mean, that's not just Walgreens. You can't trust any pharmacy all the time. You have to double check them. We have a story here of a woman who said her son was overdosed and it killed him. Now, I'm going to tell you this, okay? In that case, the guy must have flunked shapes, because, you know, you go through the shapes, I forgot, colors and numbers. So and in pharmacy school, here's round, here's oval, this is a tablet, this is a capsule. And they make little rhymes so they don't forget him. And then, you know, the colors, red, blue, white, and green. If you get them, you know, and they do the little rhymes, and then they have the counting exercises. So that's what they do in right after Sesame Street. They do the colors and the numbers, and they count your pills with the little popsicle stick. So in your case, the guy must have flunked shapes. We have more coming up. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. If you're buying a home now, a lot of people are, Brent. What can you tell them?
Well, definitely take advantage of it now. You know, we had this drop in rates, and they've sustained so far in the high threes. And what happens when we have rates move down like that, you all of a sudden qualify for more home because the cost of money has gone down.
That's right.
Even if you're somebody who's waiting till the end of the year, I would look into doing something now. You qualify for more home thanks to lower rates.
Yeah.
And that really helps your purchasing power in a very tight inventory market
Yeah.
right now.
You're right. And also the pre-approval gives you the power of a cash buyer at Ideal Home Loans. They can close you in 3 weeks or less. All they need is title work and an appraisal. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. That's 303-867-7000. He talked about a competitive market if you're buying. I can think of no one better to help you, no one better than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. If you're looking for a home or looking to sell a home, it is important that you have a good broker, even in a hot market, because in a hot market, a lot of people make a lot of mistakes, and it's so competitive that your home may stay on the market because it's so competitive. What you need is someone who knows this game, both when the market's hot and when it's slow. Frank Duran has seen it all. 303-920-1622.
This report is brought to you by Moderna.
It's Wednesday. It's the lunch hour. That means the drive is a nightmare right now, especially on I-70.
Why is that? Was that like a foregone conclusion?
He probably says the same thing on Thursday.
And there's still that wreck being cleared, blocking the right lane westbound
Is that supposed to be lunch day, or we don't take the paper brown bag, or
Walgreens westbound 6th Avenue from northbound I-25.
Our granite less than 30.
The weather forecast. It's going to be sunny and beautiful today with a high near 85.
I do think pharmacy's got to be one of the most boringest jobs ever.
Traffic and weather, right?
15.
30 K-How.
Moderna introduces fast
Art of
absorbing
granite, right?
multi-purpose
Yes, sir.
with a unique blend of botanicals and oils to help improve the look of skin,
5.
stretch marks. Own your skin. Get new Moderna Quick Dry Oil. It's in the first aid aisle.
If you want to update your kitchen, Art of Granite. You know, I not only love the way Mitch Floria does business, I love his story coming to America a few years ago. Well, not, a few years ago, 2003. With $300 in his pocket, seriously. And in this short amount of time, he's built up a beautiful company.
He started working fabricating granite and decided he wanted to do it for himself. And he formed this company, got married, had 3 kids, and became an American citizen. He is so proud of his company, and he does a great job. He has modeled it this way. You buy all of your stone and granite or countertops at wholesale from him or anyone else. Now, he has beautiful materials. You can go see him in his golden showroom. And then he charges only for fabrication and installation. He even tears out and hauls away all the old stuff free. He also does whatever you do in the kitchen, he will do in your bathroom free. Now, it all starts with a phone call. He can give you a preliminary price based on your measurements and a photograph. After that, you get specifics at his showroom in Golden, and then he templates the job and gets it done. The whole process from beginning to end, 1 to 4 weeks, serving the entire Front Range and mountain communities 7 days a week. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. artofgranite.net.
We've all heard about the amazing benefits of juicing, and it's true.
Juicing helps you stay fit and trim. Juicing is great for boosting energy and vitality.
There's just one catch, the cost. But what if you had a simple and affordable shortcut? Introducing the Organic Juice Cleanse. Every scoop is power-packed with over 20 organic farm-fresh superfruits, berries, and fiber, plus clinically tested cranberry. Just scoop, shake, and go, and you'll feel great all day. Best of all, the organic cranberry...
Concrete Lipton 30.
It's free. That's right. Just pay for the shipping and we'll rush you a free bottle. Now, you can buy the Organic Cranberry Cleanse on Amazon. But for your free bottle, simply call Purity Products right now. Dial 1-800-362-6015. That's 1-800-362-6175. For your free Organic Cranberry Cleanse, call now. 1-800...
Concrete Lipton 5.
That's
1-800-362-6175.
If you have a concrete problem, in other words, you look at your slab and it's slanting or heaving or cracking in the middle and going down on each end or whatever it is, it's never going to get better. It's only going to get worse, period. That's it. You need to address it. Here's what I love about concrete lift and stabilization. Devin Johns has had years and years of experience. He will come out and assess it free of charge and tell you what you need. Many times, all you need is a slight adjustment where you raise one part of the slab and the other part falls into place. Or you may need more of a center support. You may need end support. You may need the whole void filled. And he does both mud jacking, which is filling the void with concrete, or poly jacking, which is pumping in these piers of support made from plastic that expands once it gets into place. He has both systems, so he can quote you whichever system is best for you. He won't just, try to steer you in one direction or another. Concrete lift and stabilization. Call him. 720-890-2740. 720-890-2740. ConcreteLift.com.
When the top stories are on the top of your mind,
a shooter at a congressional baseball game practice
is where you talk about them.
I'm just so disgusted by it.
Denver's talk station.
Everyone should be carrying guns. I'm totally anti-gun.
630 KHOW.
We've been talking so much about construction, Art of Granite, concrete lift and stabilization, and all of my great contractors. Another one, Genesis. Genesis Total Exteriors and Interiors. Just think of them as the beginning of your project. That's what Genesis means, the beginning. You will love the way Mark Szymanski does business. He does everything inside and out. Your choice, big or small, give him a call. 303-679-8509. When it comes to home improvements, trust me, you need someone you can trust. Genesis, TotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509. Let's keep going, and let's talk. These HOA problems are mounting, boy, I'll tell you, all over the city. What you do is you have what I call runaway boards or runaway HOAs, meaning that they get power, they retain power, and it's hard to really get it away. And they become abusive sometimes. So I want to quickly here get a comment from Eric, who's been listening, then we'll go back to Ann. What is your comment, Eric?
Hey, Tom, if you were saying about with this lady, this Ann, and with the other person, about not being able to know who the other people are, if the HOA won't give you a list, it's public record. Go to the county, go to your county website, and through the treasurer, I think it's through the treasurer through a property search, just put in the unit number, and you can find out exactly who the property owner is, and then send them a letter.
Right. But what you don't know, Eric, that's very difficult to do, but you can do it. You're right. But the other thing I was talking about is it's impossible to know who has given up a proxy.
Right. But if you send that person a letter, send them a form letter explaining the situation,
right,
then they become informed.
You're right. You're right. Somebody's got to do something, though. And if Ann wants to do something, she has to do it. When it comes to homeowners associations, one person has to stand up and be recognized and say, wait a minute, this is not going to work. So, Ann, what additional questions or comments?
Okay. So, in terms of being that one person, yes, I have been, I will be, I will continue to be. However, what problems arise from that is very often you then start getting targeted.
Well, of course.
Jerked around.
That's right.
So there's more power in numbers, and I think at this point, because they have voted in this increase, which this coming January will be the last of it, yet we don't see things necessarily improving, I think people would be willing to speak up and request that audit.
But you got to start. You got to start somewhere, and that is know your bylaws. Get through them.
Yeah,
By the way, we have a guy, Stan, I call him Stan, the HOA man. Do we have his information that you can give her? Stan is just an individual who started a forum about HOA problems where they exchange information, and he has helped a lot of people fight back their HOAs. He knows a lot about HOA law, so why don't you call him? Chris has a comment now on pharmacies, which we've been talking about as well through the 3 hours. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, I just, basically for your listeners, it's just like everything else. There's good pharmacists, bad pharmacists, good stores, bad stores. My mom was a pharmacist for 40 years, graduated top of her class from Temple Pharmacy, and has hundreds of life-saving awards because, people think that the doctor calls in a prescription and the pharmacist throws them in a bottle, you go pick them up.
That's right.
Those pharmacists, if they're good, do their due diligence and they cross that prescription that was called in with all your other medications, make sure that they're going to work together, not against each other.
That's excellent if they do that. Now, I will say this. Your mom was in it way long ago. These community pharmacies were like going to a doctor's office almost. In fact, they had over-the-counter remedies that sometimes equaled or were better than what the doctor could do. These were a different animal than they are today. Chris, do you honest to God believe that when you pull up to a Walgreens, that guy has gone through all of your medication history to find out if there's anything in conflict?
Well, they're supposed to, and I know for a fact what my mom would do, and she was blessed with a photographic and eidetic memory. She could, I'm sure you heard of the Merck manual, which is like the Bible of prescription medication.
Uh-huh.
I could put you on the phone with her right now, have you to ask her drug, and she would tell you everything about it.
That's wonderful. Like I said, and really, another thing, people don't always go to the same pharmacy, so how would they know what other medications they're on? It's not like it used to be. Some people shop online, then they might go to Walgreens for one thing, they might go to Costco for another. It's weird the way people shop nowadays. It's not that relationship that people used to have.
No, and what you need to do is find one of these small town pharmacies, if you're lucky enough to have one in your community, go and talk to them and see what they do, get to know them, because that's the way to go. I mean, I've had so many issues personally between Walmart. I'm with a small little privately owned pharmacy right now that is absolutely phenomenal. And, you go in there, they have a private consultation area. They'll take you in there and they'll tell you, look, we know you have this. This isn't going to work. We called the doctor and told him, so he changed it to this. You're going to be fine.
Well, that's good that you are living in another era, and your mom was trained in another era. And I do believe that they were different animals altogether, totally, than they are today. Keith, you have a question about mortgages. Go ahead.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I had a quick question.
Yes.
I had some damage to the house due to the hailstorm last month. I'll throw it out there. Excel Roofing did a wonderful job. My house has been repaired.
Good.
I did get my insurance check. I contacted the mortgage company. They want me to endorse my insurance check and send it to them.
Right.
And then they are going to send somebody out to inspect it.
That's great.
Okay, but they want to charge me for it.
What?
Now, is that
Wait a minute.
common?
Well, what do they want to charge you?
Well, I told them that, I've already had the roof repaired, new gutters, everything's completely done, and they want to hold 10% of my insurance check and then send their own inspectors out there to make sure that I've made the repairs.
I understand that. I understand, and I don't blame them because they own the house with you. But once they do that, then they give you the other 10%, right?
Minus whatever the fee is for the inspector to come out.
Okay,
and make sure that I made the repairs.
I am with you on all of it except the fee part. Unless you agreed to that in your mortgage, I don't see how they can just pull that out of their butt. How much is this fee?
That's the question. The affidavit that they want me to sign, there's no cost. It doesn't say anything about it. It just says that I agree to have them come and do a full
wait. You have to agree to a fee, but they won't tell you what it is.
Exactly.
Okay,
when I talked to them, they said that they'll hold the 10%. Once it's inspected,
I know you said that already. You already said that. So they're going to hold it, then they'll refund it minus the fee. Well, I wouldn't sign anything unless I knew what the fee was. What if the fee is extraordinary? Of course you're not going to do it. And here's the other thing, Keith. And here's all I would say is, Mr. Mortgage Company, you either pay for the roof, or we get a lien on this house, and it will be foreclosed on. Because I'm going to voluntarily let them do it. Or you show me in my agreement where I agreed to pay this fee. That's all, Keith. It's possible, Keith, you did agree to it. It's possible. But I would make them show you in your mortgage paperwork where you agreed to pay this fee. They can't simply pull it out of their butt. Now they can send someone to inspect, absolutely. But they can't arbitrarily just charge you something. By the way, right now we do have lines open. We will get right to you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Alaramas, Pro Auto Care. Let's talk about your special, the Martino special for my listeners.
Well, we got a great one, but I too want to let everybody know that listens. You know, we've been doing automotive service for 25 years. We do all makes and models. We back with 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. Today I'm going to talk about timing belts. We've been doing this quite often because, you know what? I get a bunch of calls. People still don't know when they need to do it, should they do it. Folks, it's something that has to be replaced. If you have a timing belt in your car, it has to be replaced.
That's right. If you have a timing belt and you don't know if it's been replaced, and if you have 60,000 miles or more, you do it just to be safe because it could ruin your car.
That's right. So what I want to do for the package deal for doing a complete timing belt assembly is knock $100 off of that replacement. That deal plus other deals are online. They can go visit the site. It's just a great offer. Take care of something before it becomes a big problem.
Yeah, you have to do it anyway. So with Pro Auto Care, you get $100 off. No matter where you buy a car, if you bought a used car and you don't know if it's been done and you have an interference engine, it will ruin your engine. And there is never a warning, by the way. They just break. It's something that every car needs with a timing belt. What you need to do is call 303-PRO-AUTO, 2 locations, Denver and Littleton area, 303-PRO-AUTO, and they will tell you what kind of car you have. I mean, if it's the kind that has an interference engine and needs to be replaced. 303-PRO-AUTO. The website, 303proauto.com, you get $100 off timing belt replacement.
This report is brought to you by Moderna.
Lots of crashes across the metro area freeway system right now. You would think it was rush hour instead of lunch hour. There's a 4-car wreck on the ramp to westbound 6th Avenue from northbound I-25. That's clogging up the drive on that section as well. Lots of crashes on I-70. 3 westbound.
One westbound at Brighton Boulevard being cleared, one westbound at Central Park as well. Another crash involving several vehicles on I-70 westbound west of Fuel. Paradigm and 30. Eastbound I-70 after Havana. The weather forecast, mostly sunny and nice today with a high of 87. Tonight, clear skies and a low of 54. Right now, clouds and sun and 76. With your traffic at 115, 630 K-How.
Moderna introduces fast-absorbing, multi-purpose quick dry oil with a unique blend of botanicals and oils to help improve the look of
And stretch marks. Own your skin. Get new Moderna Quick Dry Oil. It's in the first aid aisle.
Let's talk about floor coverings. The most ubiquitous thing in your home. That means you see it all over. No matter where you go, you got floors. Bathrooms are one place, kitchens are another, bedrooms are another, but floor coverings are everywhere. And it's the first thing people notice. If you want floor coverings, Paradigm Interiors is the place to go. They also have tile, not just for floors, but for showers and for backdrops, beautiful tiles. And you need to check them out. They're on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. As you're driving west, turn right at Pecos. They're right on the corner. Great parking. So convenient. You go in there and talk to their design consultant as soon as you walk in the door. Personal assistance. Then you get the great value of a big warehouse without feeling like a number. When you go in there and pick the materials, then they lay out the installation and the availability, and then they get back to you in a day with a price, maybe a day or two, and then it's ready to go. You can't do better than Paradigm. They are open 5 days a week right now, and they're going to be extending soon to Saturday. And they've been 14 years in business, and I know the owners, Don and Matt, personally. You will love the way they do business. Give them a call, 303-630-9204. 303-630-9204. That's Paradigm Interiors.
Hey, it's Lynn and Michelle, the sisters from Brothers. And wow!
Our team did something even more amazing than usual.
They honored us by nominating Brothers, listing us in the Denver Post as one of the top places to work.
They say they enjoy
Joe Lazera and 30.
And feel like they're given the room to do great things.
And that, well, that feels really good.
Check us out for yourself.
Call 303-451-6057. Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Electric.
Online at Brothers
15.
If you want luxury countertops at wholesale prices, you need to call Art of Granite. And when they remodel your kitchen, they're going to do your bathroom vanity for
absolutely nothing. Call them at 303-386-5919 or go online, artofgranite.net.
Let's talk about drinking and driving. There is absolutely no reason in the world to drink and drive or to smoke marijuana and drive. And if you do it, then you probably deserve the consequences. But even if you're guilty and you want to get through the system, you need help doing that. Joseph A. Lazara is the one to call. Now, he is a defense attorney, and of course he'll make sure your rights were not violated and that they crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. And in some cases, you are innocent. In some cases, they falsely accused you. In other cases, you're just an idiot. Whatever the case, Joseph A. Lazara can handle it. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Joe can help you with any criminal defense, and you'll be happy he's there when you need him. Remember the name if you ever get in trouble, Joseph A. Lazara. You can find him on my referral list at referralist.com. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200.
Want to know what's going on? Follow us on Twitter at 630KHOW.
An iHeart radio station.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome. Jerry wanted to know if pharmacies have a right to deny prescriptions. Yes, they do. They do. They just did with me. They do. I'm reading online about Walgreens filling the shoes of your doctor. Here's what they do. This one guy was on an antidepressant. He went to get it. He was traveling. They said, you can't have it. You filled it almost 25 days ago. You're not out yet. He says, why do I have to wait till I'm out? They said, that's our policy. He said, but my doctor gave me a refill because I'm going on vacation. And they said, literally, the same thing I got. He didn't write it's a vacation on there. He said, what difference does it make? He gave me the prescription. He trusts me. Look at my records. I've been going to him for years. I've been on this medicine for years. It's an antidepressant. They wouldn't give it to him. He didn't have time to go somewhere else. He thought he'd take his trip. He got very, 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 very ill. He posted, I hate Walgreens online, and why? Following were comment after comment after comment after comment of people with the same thing. They expect you to come in. One guy in the Northeast, they expected him to come in when he was out, and there was a blizzard. He could not get in. I was just wondering what would happen in a blizzard in Colorado. It happened. Couldn't get in. Guess what happens? He runs out. They say, sorry, we couldn't do it beforehand. Have you ever heard of such ridiculousness in your life? This is Walgreens wanting to take control of your life as a healthcare provider. That's what they want to do. And instead of saying, well, he has a doctor, I'm not going to get involved. Now, mind you, there are people who have habits, opiates, and they might look on the records and say, wow, this guy just filled 90 a couple days ago. What the hell is he doing? Is he selling them? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that kind of abuse. I'm talking about normal people who have prescriptions for their blood pressure, for their depression, even pain, yes, but that have not abused it. I'm talking about normal people who go to a pharmacy and the pharmacy interferes with your doctor and with you and starts playing God. That's what Walgreens does, Walgreens. Not only that, but they treat you like crap with condescending attitudes. And to top it all off, the highest prices in the industry. So why the hell do you want to be mistreated like that? And then they try to give you some crap that they're looking out for you. Walgreens has never gotten involved directly with a patient in that. I'll bet you they never get involved. Never. They fill prescriptions. Do you think for a moment they literally discuss with your doctor what's best for you? Here's what your pharmacy does, and I've said it before. 1 pill, 2 pill, 3 pill, 4, 5 pill, 6 pill, 7 pill more. White, green, yellow, tan, all different colors. They have to go back for refresher courses when new colors come out, so they get the color chart right. And then we just heard from another guy, they get the shape wrong. You got the pear shape, you got the oval, you got round, you got triangle, you got square, you got rectangle. Wow, all the different shapes and sizes. That's pharmacy school. That's pharmacy school. And Big Bird sometimes teaches. What's going on, Johnny?
Hey, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Guess what? I just got a phone call from the IRS. And I'm getting sued.
The fake IRS. The IRS never calls and threatens. So, in any case, what did they want from you?
I had to give them a number. It was. You want the number?
You mean their number? Yeah, give their number.
240.
Yeah.
454. 0126, and it's an Indian lady. I told her I wanted her badge number, her ID number, and her cubicle number. And she just kind of laughed, and I said, well, if you want anything from me, just send them on. We're waiting.
You know, we used to call these people all the time. They're a bunch of clowns, and they're just. I don't even know why they keep calling. I can't believe that there would be anyone in the world that would still fall for this. Never.
Now I got one thing to tell you about Walgreens.
Yes.
I did the same thing you did. I had to have metformin. And more drugs.
That's right. That's for diabetes, right?
I went down for 60. It was $70-something, and I said, "Wait a minute." Now, the first time I bought it, it was only $10. She said, "No, we don't do that no more. We're only giving you 30 or 60, and that's it." So I turned around and bought them. I went down to Walmart, got another prescription, went down to Walmart and paid $10 for 90 days.
Oh, wow. See? Unbelievable.
And they just did my wife about a month ago, just like you did now. Because the doctor told her to use these pills up quick.
Right.
Take 1.5, and then they refused to give her the pills again, even though the doctor said she can have them.
You know, that's what pisses me off, is where they try to second-guess your health care. You know what? It's good, because I'm not using them anymore. I have spent literally thousands and thousands of dollars with them. Because when I'm there, I pick up other stuff. I will never spend a penny with Walgreens again. And I urge people not to, but you ought to let them know why. They're more expensive, and they're abusive. Marco, what's happening, brother?
It is.
Marco, I'm here. Marco. Okay, tell Marco I'm here. Get him back on the phone. I'm going to take a break, okay? Tell him I'm here. Bonnie Shields, attorney at law. I have some emails. One real quick one before break. With a dependency and neglect hearing, do you need an attorney? I mean, I think it's obvious. I think you do. But
I think you really do.
But it's not required, obviously.
It's not required, and unfortunately, a lot of people can't afford it. But if you can, it's a very different system. It's its own animal.
It is,
so
totally.
You need somebody to navigate through that with you.
Now, do you handle those?
I don't do those cases.
Okay. What else do you not do? I'm just curious what you not do. Dependency and neglect is a weird one when the kids are taken away, right?
Right. I don't do those. I don't do like premarital agreements. You need
Okay.
somebody that likes to draft,
Yeah.
and I've done some, but I prefer not to do them.
Now, when it comes to mediation, somebody wants to know, once they engage you for mediation, if it breaks down, you cannot represent either of them after that?
That's right. You have to remain the neutral party.
Okay. So if they want to do mediation and they want to use you, they can't use you as an attorney too, obviously.
Right.
Now, do you recommend when they go into mediation that they have an attorney?
It kind of depends. If one side has an attorney, it's a really good idea. It's better to be both on the same playing field.
So if no one has an attorney,
yeah.
I mean, you can pretty well advise them if it gets hairy, like maybe you should consult an attorney on this item or something.
Right, because you're not allowed to give them legal advice. But I find that a lot of times if they're both not represented, sometimes you get a little further
All right.
into mediation.
Now, we'll be back with Bonnie and talk about what she does and more, and also other attorneys I represent. You heard me talk about Joe Lazzara, and honest to God, I hope you never need him. And John Fuller's another one I hope you never need. Fuller Law, though, it is an area of law that is really screwed up, the whole area. Because when people are hurt, they don't know what to do. The system we have says you get paid, you get reimbursed for what you lost. Not just property, but time and feelings, really. Happiness, vacations, all of that goes into some kind of formulation of damages, and that's where John Fuller excels. He knows what things are worth. He knows what people have collected in the past. He knows how to go after insurance companies. He knows how to seek pain and suffering damages. And he doesn't just tickle your ears with a lot of promises and then abandons you. And he doesn't work on volume. He works on relationships with his clients. You never pay him because it's always contingent on what he collects. So you know he'll take it seriously. 303-597-4500. Any personal injury, traffic accident, automobiles, if you tripped and fell, at least you consult him. He'll tell you if he thinks you have a case or not. 303-597-4500. His website is personalinjuryco.com.
From the L
Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. Crash is being cleared, but still big delays across the metro area freeway system. Downtown, northbound I-25 at 6th Avenue. Crash there on the ramp to westbound. That's clogging up the drive past Broadway. Crash is being cleared on I-70. One westbound at Brighton, one westbound at Central Park, and a crash in the cleanup stages eastbound I-70 after Havana as well. Be careful out there. The weather forecast. Mostly sunny today and warm. 30. Skies in a low 54. Tomorrow, sunny and hot, a high near 90. Tomorrow night, clear and 58. Right now, clouds and sun and 76 in the Mile High City. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30, 15.
Brought to you by Mederma. Mederma introduces fast-absorbing, multi-purpose quick dry oil with a unique blend of botanicals and oils to help improve the look of
Skin, scars, and stretch marks. Own your skin. Get new Mederma Quick Dry Oil. It's in the first aid aisle.
Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center has been on my referral list for many, many years, and I love what they do because they will let you try out important therapies. Of course, if you have a hearing loss, they will let you try out hearing aids with no obligation whatsoever, no money, no pressure, to see if you like it. And that can't be better. Just see if you like it. They even will adapt you and try something else if that doesn't work. Now, they also do that with tinnitus treatment. They have a tinnitus treatment that you can try out for a period of time to see if it's going to work. You start getting indications. Yeah, this looks like it's going to work. This feels right. Because this particular treatment is called the Syncra. And if it does work with your type of tinnitus, it'll be permanent. It's wonderful. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. Call them for free test drives or for information. They love answering questions about tinnitus, about hearing loss, because they know that these things can, ruin your life if they're not in order. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. The website is helpforringing.com.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Champion just offered everything I wanted in a window.
Experience what others are raving about with Champion windows and home exteriors. Improve your home's appearance with new windows, siding, or sunroom. And now, during Champion's Summer of Savings sale, you'll pay no interest or payments till 2019. Every American-made Champion window is installed using expert craftsmen and features Champion's exclusive Comfort 365 glass. And Champion's limited lifetime warranty covers the frame, glass, hardware, and even installation. That's why I endorse Champion. Right now, get $250 off every Champion window and pay no interest or payments till 2019. Hot summer temperatures and high energy bills are right around the corner. Don't miss Champion's Summer of Savings going on now. Schedule today for your free in-home estimate at getchampion.com. That's getchampion.com.
If you're new to this program, here's a little word of advice. I'm 12 years old.
It's Michael Brown.
Yes, I like to laugh. It's my show.
Later today at 4 on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Okay, let's talk. Aurora Orthodontics is a place that I send adults for orthodontics, and I'll tell you why. Because in 2 short years, you can have a natural, beautiful smile. That's without yanking out teeth, without veneers being slapped on your entire mouth, or without any kind of painful surgery to widen your palate. Yes, it can all be done naturally. By the way, veneers would cost about $50,000 for a mouth, or $60,000. Even the front teeth will cost you $20,000. So if you really want a full, beautiful smile, you can do it through Aurora Orthodontics with the new orthodontics. The way Dr. Lawson works is remarkable. He has proven through natural palate expanders over time he can widen your palate, which will drop and straighten teeth. He will straighten out your jaw, and then when you are in braces, it will be for a short amount of time. He uses Invisalign, and as I said, the entire process, 2 years, the new orthodontics. And when you clear up crooked teeth and align your jaw, it also helps with TMJ and sleep apnea. It's a wonderful, wonderful technology. Pioneered, by the way, by Dr. Kent Lawson, right here in Aurora. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100. And, of course, he's on my referral list.
I think it is essential for your security and your family's security that we vet anybody coming from anywhere into this country.
Hannity, later today at 1 on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome. Okay. Marco, what's going on with you, Marco?
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Good. What's going on with you?
Wow. This is, number one, Tom, I have a disability, so bear with me.
What is the disability?
Well, I've had a brain injury. I was bipolar before the brain injury.
And how did you get a brain injury, sir?
Well, it's a traumatic TBI. I wasn't nervous earlier. This has got to be the hardest thing. But it's so important for people to know a true story, what happened to me. I used to be a car racer in Juarez, and I had an accident.
All right, so what can I do to help you? What do you need right now?
Well, I need some guidance.
On what?
Being disabled, almost like a natural life when you get used to your disability. The more you understand yourself, the easier it is to cope with. I'm gonna.
How long have you had this injury?
Okay. When it first happened, the person's got to be strong to come back and then learn.
When did it happen, Marco?
It happened about 18 years ago, but it's affecting me through time. I guess that's supposed to be normal.
All right. You mentioned though. You mentioned that you were bipolar. You had a mental condition, bipolar, and this was. When did this come on? When did you discover this?
Well, my whole family is interesting.
Well,
But
Marco, when did you discover? But when did you discover or get treated for bipolar?
I'd say about.
Okay, I'm going to run out of time. I want to help you, Marco. So I'm going to have someone talk to you off the air. Okay, that's what we're going to do, and we will get information to you that you need, so you don't have to feel pressured on the air. Abraham, you are asking for a recommendation for tinnitus treatment. You just heard me, right? Colorado tinnitus?
I did, but I have. Yeah.
I'll talk to you off the air. Hold on.
How do you make sure you get the lowest rates for either a refinance or purchase, or getting
the right loan for you and not the one they want to sell you? Take AIM, affordable interest mortgage.
That causes raining. That causes
programs to eliminate mortgage insurance.
Right.
Hundreds to thousands. Paperless loan application, quick loan pre-approval so your offer is accepted on your dream.